We've got the live striptease. No, it's okay, madam, it's not me, no. We're gonna get a sheep naked, and then we're gonna pass the show back over to the stars of the sheep world, and we're gonna have our famous dancing sheep. Now, we're gonna bring out the first sheep. He's a little bit of a legend in the sheep world. He's a little bit of a hero in the sheep world. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for the first time today, can we have a big round of applause for Nobby, the Norfolk Hall? Nobby, reach your name. That was lucky. There he is. Now, this guy here, where he lives in Norfolk, there's more churches per square mile than there is anywhere else on the planet. What those churches did, just bear with me, let me just do something, 2 seconds. Okay, what those churches did many years ago was that they took the fleece off his back and they sold it to the rich Europeans. That gave the church great wealth, took our great country in many different ways, but we know our history. Unfortunately though, for this guy, he's nearly extinct. Very few of him left in the world. Now you might think, why is he that much of a legend if he's nearly extinct? Well, we're going to go into that in a minute, though. First of all, we're going to bring out the next sheep. She's a little bit of a cutie. I got a little bit of a soft spot for her, and it's not because I'm from North Devon, no. We're going to bring her out. She is the smallest sheep that we have here on the sheep show. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, big round of applause for Susie, the Southdown. Here she comes. Come on, Susie. There she is. Oh, look at her. Oh, doesn't she look yummy? Now, Susie, well, Nobby, he's a legend in this country. Susie, she done one better. She went global. She went to... As an English farmer, I don't like to use this word, but she went to New Zealand. Exactly. She also went to South Africa. She also went to a country where they talk funny, love themselves, and are rubbish at rugby. Yes, she went to Australia. And she went there for a couple of reasons. The first reason is the fleece on her back. It is some of the finest wool that we have on any of our sheep today. It's great for clothes that are close to our skin. Things like vests, pants, socks, things like that. But she also went there for another reason, and I've got to come down out of earshot for this one. She's got some of the sweetest tasting lamb chops you've ever tasted. Now, Nobby here, he likes the jet-set lifestyle of these ladies, and he took our Susie out on a date. That date resulted in the #1 breeding sheep in the world. He is the sexiest sheep I know. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, big round of applause for Sammy, the Suffolk. Here he is.
To the beat, walking down the street in my new freak. Yeah. This is how I roll. And I'm on this out control. It's Red Bull with the big ass bra. They're like Bruce Lee, but I got the clout. Yeah.
See, this is what happens, kids. If you don't go to school, you can't read. Or you come from Suffolk. Anyway, this guy here, he's what we would know as a terminal sire. And for you kids out there that don't know what that is, it's a great job. He's got about 150 wives. He's only got to see for 6 weeks of the year. All the love, none of the hassle. You know what I mean, sir, don't you? Anyway, but what makes this guy here so good? Look, he's taken this big long back off his dad. We can fit a couple of extra lamb chops in here. He's taken the sweet tasting meat and that fleece from his mum. And that's what makes this guy here so good, because he will pass that on to his lambs. Now, I said to you that Nobby, nearly extinct. Sammy is one of the reasons why. He's come along and he's gone, hey Dad, I can do a better job than you can. Out with the old, in with the new. One of the reasons why Nobby's nearly extinct is our Sam. Okay, we're going to bring out the next sheep. She's the first of our hill breeds. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for Belinda, the blue-faced Leicester. Here she is. Come on, Belinda, my darling. Woo, look at those legs. Oh, dear of her. Now, Belinda here, her fleece has got what we would know as a great shine to it, or what we know in the trade as a great luster to it. It's also got quite a nice little curl. You ladies pay a fortune for that in the hairdressers, I'll tell you. But she also got one other thing. Now, we've talked about fleece, we've talked about meat. What's the other thing that sheep can give us? And if anybody here says companionship, I'm out of here. So what else can they give us?
Milk!
Milk! Exactly, madam. Did you know that there's actually more sheep milked in this world than there are cows? That's because it's good for us. High in protein, high in calcium, high in zinc. Great for the aging process. Look at me, I'm 65. And this young lady here, she's got loads of it. She will rear 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 babies, all by herself. She's what I would call a super mummy, and she's absolutely fantastic at the job. Now, we're going to go right up to the Highlands of Scotland for our next sheep. He is the wildest sheep that we have here on the sheep show. So, ladies and gentlemen, can we have a big round of applause for Dougal, the Scotch Blackface? Here he is. If he catches you, Sam. Here he is. Now, I got to be a bit careful with Dougal. He doesn't like me very much, and he's got a tendency to try and give me a Glasgow kiss. It's not romantic. Now, this guy here, he lives right up there on the Highlands of Scotland, and he can cope with all the wind, all the rain, all the sun and all the snow because of his fleece. It has got a really coarse outside, but underneath, there's like a thick underlayer. Now, we use it in things like carpets, hardware and things, but we've even started using it in aircraft as insulation because it doesn't catch fire. It only sits there and smoulders. Now, this guy here, he's what we would know as a hefted sheep, which means he lives right up there on the Highlands. He doesn't need any fences around him. He might wander over to the boundary and go, yep, don't like it there. Back he'll come. He will only come off the hill once, maybe twice a year. First time haircut, second time nail polish. Other than that, this guy will stay on the hill. He will be born on the hill, and he will die on the hill. Now we have another romance because our Belinda over there, she went up to Scotland on holiday, saw Dougal, and she thought, hello, you're a little bit of all right. That romance resulted in the #1 breeding female in the UK. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring her out. Big round of applause for Martha the Mule. Here she is. Pretty woman, walking down the street, pretty woman, the kind I like to eat. Nah, I'm only joking. But she's great. What she's done is she's taken the hardiness from her dad. She can cope with all the UK weather, and this winter that was horrendous. She can cope with that, no problem at all. She's taken the super mummy bit from her mum. She will rear 1, 2, maybe even 3 babies, all by herself. Made in the UK, for the UK, only found in the UK. Fantastic sheep. Now, you saw the Wurzels last night. Yeah? Did you see Lenny? He was up there because I had to go up and pick him up. He is the hippie of the sheep world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for Lenny, the Lincoln Longwool. Here he comes. Come on, Lenny, up you come, son. Shoop-be-doo. Reminds me of Bob Marley, this guy, a little bit. Can't keep him off the grass either. Now, this guy here, let's see if I can find it. Here it is. He's got about, let's see if we can find it. Here it is. Look at that. 12 inches a length of wool on the top of his head. We call it staple of wool. Now, the longest recorded staple of wool on a Lincolnshire long wool was 35 inches. When I clipped him out, I took 12 kilos of wool off his back. Unfortunately for this guy, though, he's nearly extinct. Very few of him left in the UK at all. And you might wonder why, seeing as he's got all this lovely wool. Well, about sort of 15 years ago, the bottom fell out of the wool market. Farmers went away from the wool breeds, they went over to the meat breeds. Fortunately, though, for this guy, he's got over to Australia. Not entirely sure how he got there. Me personally, I think Bear Grylls took him on a canoe or something like that. But he got over there. The southern hemisphere do so much more for their wool than what we do here in the northern. So when this guy's extinct in this country, and that isn't going to be very long, he will be looked after over there. Okay, we're going to bring out the next sheep. He's a European sheep. Comes from a little island off of Holland called Texel. We call it Texel. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a big round of applause for Terry the Texel. Here he comes. Woo, yeah. Hey, Ter. How you doing, son? Now, this guy here, when I brought him back to my farm there in Devon, back in May it was, my wife looked up to me and she said, "Good darling, doesn't he look like you?" And I went, "Oh, thank you, darling. Is it the ruggish good looks?" You know what I mean, madam? No, you're supposed to say yes. But it wasn't. She turned around and she went, "No, he's got a big bum." And it's true. That's what this guy here's got. He's got a double muscle on the back end, or on his gluteus maximus. If you think from here backwards is where all the expensive cuts of meat come from. This guy here excels in it. He's got the nice long back, we can fit the extra lamb chops in. He's got the double muscle on his bum, so that he will help us to provide the lamb that you guys want as consumers. Now, I said to you, this guy here, #1 in the world. This guy here is coming up fast. He's now the #1 in the UK. Soon to take him off the top spot. Look at him. He's not very happy about it, I tell you. Right, Hustle, bring out the last sheep. He is a little bit of a loner, but we love him. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for Harry the Herdwick. Come on, Harry. Here he is. Dear old Harry. Now, dear old Harry hasn't got a lot going for him, really. We're supposed to have an arm there. He gets ever so upset if he doesn't get it. But he hasn't. If you think, Harry, his fleece is really rubbish. It's so coarse, it's almost like wire. His lambs will take 2 years to mature, whereas Terry over here will only take 6 months. But this guy here, he's a conservationist of the sheep world. He comes originally from the Lake District up on the Fells, but you'll also find him down with me on Dartmoor, Bodminmoor, Exmoor. And this guy here will eat all the things that these want. He'll eat things like fern, heather, bracken, brambles. And he will keep those areas of outstanding beauty looking the way we want them to look. So, ladies and gentlemen, can we have a big round of applause for the 9 breeds of sheep that we have here on the Sheep Show? Now, people ask me what I do for a living when I'm not on the Sheep Show, and I'm actually a shepherd and a shearer by trade. And my granddad taught me to shear about 30 years ago, and he taught me to shear with a pair of these. Now, it took us about a week to shear 100 sheep, although they did look very similar to Lenny because they were something called a grey-faced Dartmoor. Now, shearers these days are shearing between 200 and 400 sheep a day. The record stands at 734 sheep in a 9-hour day, held by a Kiwi down in Cornwall a couple of years ago. Fantastic achievement. And to do that, shearers have had to go over to these. Now, these here are the electric clippers. Now, People say to me, you're cruel, you shear sheep, you hurt sheep, especially with the press that we've had recently. Well, I'm going to prove to you, and especially to you kids here, that I don't hurt sheep by using these on my own skin. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. There, look. Ooh, actually, it feels quite nice. See, that's what you get for being greedy. You'll end up looking like me. Okay, now, so it doesn't hurt sheep. But what we have to do is, you have to remember, it's a little bit like when Dad has a shave, and he's got to pull the skin tight here and have a shave like that. Or when Mum has a shave. It's exactly the same, and we have to do that with sheep, and I'm hopefully going to show you how. Now, it's at this point in the show that I have to give you a health and safety briefing. Unfortunately, the health and safety people in this country are wound just a little bit too tight. Wild sheep in cupboard. I open door, sheep runs out. Sheep travel at about 35 miles an hour on the flat. I will catch said sheep. If I miss and the sheep ends up down there with you, madam, run. Right. She suddenly lost all colour. Okay, let's have a little look here. Oh my luck. Sorry, sir, is he making you feel inadequate? Come on, son. It's all right for you, I got to work with him. Okay. They're European boys. Anyway, right then, are we ready? Are you kids going to help me with a countdown? Yeah, okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It says in my script, wild sheep exits covered. Let's have a little look. Come on then, my darling. Here we go. Yes. Oh, hello. Here we go. We've got a little bit of life about it. Oh, hang on. Steady, steady, steady. Okay. Handbrake on. Okay. Now. No photos just at the moment, sir. I've got enough bad press recently. Okay, what we've got to do is we've got to take this sheep out of four-wheel drive. To do that, I put my hand under her chin, I turn her head, and I turn there like that. Now, if you think this sheep is probably in the region of about 35 kilos, Sam there is probably about 100 kilos. And if you think trying to do that 200 to 400 times a day is too much pressure on my back, so that's why we do it that way. Okay, here we go then. Hello, my darling. My name's Trevor. I'm your hairdresser for the day. And relax. Now, I said to you that sometimes we've got to stretch that skin out, and what she's got a tendency to do sometimes is tuck her foot in here like that. And she won't let me have it. I've got a few little buttons I can press. Boys, come and see me later if you want to know where those buttons are. Okay, and we can press a button here which helps, and it goes, whoop. And it just stretches that skin out like that. Okay, now, what we're going to do, first of all, is we're going to take this belly wool off. Now, this sheep here is not even 6 months old yet. And she will have been lying on this belly wool for the last sort of just under 6 months of her life. So this belly wool is going to be covered in things like poo and mud and things like that. And it's not going to be the best grade wool. Now, just there, lovely. Now, like I say, it's rubbish. But we don't throw it away, because what we do is we put that back there. That goes into a separate pile. That will then get used for things like felt and things like that, all right? Okay, no, that's what I wanted to show you kids. See that, kids? That's what happens if you don't use toilet paper. Okay, right, here we go then. Let's see if we can shear this sheep. Right, so we start down here, we come through here like that. I'm going to move out this way just a tad. There we go. And we come round here. Well, I suppose you ladies might call this the bikini line. Now, ladies, if you're thinking to yourself at the end of this chap here hasn't done too bad a job, I'm going on holiday in a couple of weeks. We are doing a special since it's the 50th anniversary today, ladies. 50p. I'll pay you. Okay, so we sit the sheep up slightly, come in this first leg here. There we go. Now, I'm not pushing these clippers through, I'm letting the clippers do the work. Round we go, make sure we get that poo off, lovely. Up through the back, right up through, like so. Now normally, I'd be wearing a pair of moccasins or a pair of slippers, but they got wet last night, so I can't. Okay, just sit through there, lovely. There we go, up through there, out under the chin. This side, round the back of the ears, making sure we don't touch them, because they've got our ear tags in them. Now those ear tags are very important, because they let me know where this sheep has been, where it's gone, where it's going, and it's very similar to the tags or the chips that are in your cats and your dogs. And it's all about traceability, because you want to know where your lamb, when you buy it, has been and where it's come from, or that it's even lamb itself. Okay, now here we go, up through there. Now normally, my bum would end up facing you. It's not my best bit. So I'm going to turn this sheep around so that you can see what's going on. Come down this way. There we go. Sit her up, pop her head through there like that. Lovely, oh, easy. We've only just met. Okay, there we go. Down this side, round we go, through there. Lovely. Under here, gonna make sure we get under here. Don't want her going away looking too European. Not now we're out anyway. Okay, and then down this side here. Now this side is what us shearers would know as the money side, because this is the point at what I'm going to get paid for shearing this sheep, and I'm going to get paid somewhere in the region of about £1.10 for shearing this sheep. Now one last blow up through there, get all the little bits off, and there we are. There. Okay, we're going to pop her back in here. It's okay, my darling, it's not an oven. I lied, 150 for about 4 hours. Come back later. Okay, so, put that back there. Now, people say to me, isn't she going to get cold? Well, she's not. That skin is going to triple in thickness over the next 24 hours. She's going to release lanolin from a gland in her groin. That's going to cover her over and make her waterproof and warm. We use lanolin out of the fleece. Biggest byproduct of fleece is lanolin. We use it for things like makeups, moisturizers, medications, lipsticks, things like that. Okay, so now, how much do you think this fleece is worth? Now bear in mind, there's enough fleece here to make me a jumper extra small, and it's the best wool, because this is lamb's wool, so this is the best wool that she is ever going to produce. This wool and this jumper is going to cost me about 60 quid in the high street. So how much do you think that whole fleece is worth? Any ideas? How much, sir? £5. Nice place to start, sir. Nice place. Yes, madam. 2 quid. No, that's not the way an auction works, madam. Wait, goes up, sorry? 50 pence? Are you from Cornwall? Tight in Cornwall. Well, I'll tell you what, sir. I'll have your £5, because you've just been fleeced. Oh, the old ones are the best, aren't they? But you have somewhere in the region of you two. This fleece here is probably worth about £1 to £1.50. Now, the farmer's going to pay me, the shearer, £1.10 to shear it off. He's going to pay the roustabout, and Shannon's going to be my roustabout today. It's for going to pick up this fleece for me. They call them roustabouts in New Zealand and Australia for picking up wool. In this country, we call them agricultural wool technicians for picking up the fleece and making sure it's all tidy. But there's not a lot left in it for the farmer, is there? So why does he do it? Well, about 800 years ago, these sheep didn't have wool on their backs, they had hair. We, as humans, have bred that fleece onto their backs. But more importantly, especially days like today, it's damp, it's hot, it's clammy. Those flies will come down, they'll land on the back of the sheep. Those flies will lay their eggs. Those eggs will turn into maggots. Those maggots will eat that sheep alive within 72 hours. So that's why we shear sheep, for the welfare of the sheep, not the welfare of the farmer. Okay, so who'd like to see the famous dancing sheep? Yeah, okay, let's see what's going to happen for the first time today then. Let's see if we can get the right tune up. Here we go. Now, over the last couple of weeks, we've just got back from a trip to Scotland, and whilst we were up there, we were working on a new routine. So what I'm hoping to do is try and tell you a little bit about what each of these sheep is going to do, so that you can see and you can know what they're doing. Now, our terrier up here, he's been learning to break dance. Now, we're not sure what it's going to be. We're not sure whether it's going to be a sort of running man. We're not sure whether it's going to be a box step. But whichever it is, he works very hard at it. Now, Martha here, she sort of shakes her head, sort of Stevie Wonder-esque. Now, Belinda here, she's proper posh. She does the ballet, and she'll point her toes in time. Now, Susie here, she does a bit of a tap dance. Now, Nobby here, he's a little bit special. He does the cha-cha slide. Step, step, slide, slide, step, step, slide, slide, tail shimmy, nice. Now, Sam, if he wants to get up, he does the elbow shuffle. Down he goes, up he gets, down he goes, up he gets. Dougal there, he likes a little bit of status quo, and he'll shake his head in time. Now, Lenny there, don't start yet, Lenny. Just like me, slightly premature. Now, what he does is he's been watching me on the cider, and he does that dance. I know, Harry over there. Harry over there, absolutely nothing. He's the choreographer. Okay, now, the more you clap, the more you cheer, the more they'll do. And he's already started, so let's go. Hey, all right. Yeah, come on in, Lenny. I'm feeling it, son. Hear that crowd. Come on, Lenny. All right. Big rat. Oh, sorry. Give us a kiss. Yeah, good lad. Here we go then, Dougal. Yeah, shake your head, son. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. All right. Yeah, and again. Where the crowd. Look at this. He's on the box step. He's up there. He's doing the cha-cha slide. Woo, yeah. We're loving it today. Oh, look at this. The elbow shuffle. Down he goes, up he gets. Down he goes. One more. Yeah. Big round of applause for the big man. Here we go. Are you ready, Nobby? Step, step, slide, slide, step, step, slide, slide, step, step, slide, slide, tail shimmies, there it is! Woo! Look at the man on the end doing the box. Well done, Belinda. One more for Dad. Yeah. Any more in there? Oh, good girl. Oh, they're loving you guys today. Oh, whatever you do, Martha, slow it down for me. I'm getting out of breath. Woo! Yeah, good girl. And as for you, we just love you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Sheep Show. Now, we do collect for the Addington Trust. It's a charity for farmers in crisis. If you've got a couple of toothpicks, pop them in the pot. We want to say thank you to Harper's Homemix, who look after the nutritional needs of these sheep. But more importantly, from these guys here and from me to you, thank you and goodbye.